Yep. That's how today's going. Yep. Welcome back, guys. Main episode. We're gonna make this one super quick and super fast. Now, I'm not talking like 5 minutes fast, because that's actually insane for us. I don't even think that we could do that if we tried.
Yeah.
But we do have a regular episode. We're coming up on 2 years of the podcast, so we may or may not be doing something special for that. We'll have to see if we can fit it into our busy schedules. No guarantees. We'll try. But main episode, stupid statistics, soccer, racing, radar points, the usual stuff. So, before we get too far into the episode, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on your post notifications. Again, we did have a couple videos this past week, and we'll probably have some more again in the future, so subscribe. Anyways, we're moving on to blah 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 blah.
Stupid statistics. Guys, welcome back. So first things first, we have the Hurricanes are the third team since 1994 to start a postseason 7-0, and are the first team to start 8-0 since the best of 7 format began in 1987. After eliminating both the Flyers and the Senators.
Senators, yeah. Well, I bet you're happy because this is your Carolina Hurricanes.
It is, yes. Have I been to one of their games? No. I should, but I don't. I haven't been. I don't have time.
You know who has? William Byron.
Oh, yeah, he has. And then we had the New York Knicks eliminate the 76ers to head to the team's second straight conference final.
Yeah, well, you know, my Sixers didn't do much, so it's fine.
Then we have the New York Jets extend their RB Breece Hall to a 3-year, $45.75 million deal. Comes after the team was considering franchise tagging him.
Yeah. Well, I just feel bad because if I was him, I would have held out for them to franchise tag me, and then I would have gone to another team.
Yeah. And then we have the Lions have the easiest schedule for this upcoming season, and the Cardinals have the hardest.
I know you're happy about that, though.
Yeah, because I could care less about the Cardinals.
No, because Dan Campbell.
Oh, yeah. Right. My bad, guys. No lie, I forget the Cardinals exist, and that's on me. I do. I forget they're a team. And then, is it João? Yes, okay, I just don't want to say it wrong. João Cancelo is the first player to win a league title in 4 of Europe's top 5 leagues. He won the Bundesliga, Premier League, Serie A, and just won La Liga with Barcelona this year.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome, good for him. And then we have Harry Kane has tied Robert Lewandowski's record of 55 goals in a single season. Still has 1 game left to play. Did miss a penalty this weekend, which would have seen him break the record. Right. Anyways, and then we have Union Berlin's interim head coach won her first game 3-1 over Mainz. Awesome. I was like, I know that's not right.
Before you move on, quick thing here. She is the first head coach to win a game in Europe's top 5 leagues. First female head coach to win. So.
You earned that, girl. And then the online petition to get Mbappé out of Madrid has reached over 73 million signatures.
That's more than the population of Spain, by the way.
That was like, okay, imagine having low self-esteem and then seeing that.
Yikes.
But moving on, Kimi Antonelli needs just 5 more race wins to equalize with Charles Leclerc. It's Antonelli's 2nd season and Leclerc's 9th.
Yikes.
Yeah. And then we have, for the first time, Lando Norris was the oldest of the 3 drivers on the podium at Miami. Oh, that's true. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Dang. Do you feel old now, Lando? And then apparently Mercedes is asking McLaren for advice with their engine.
Yeah. It's literally my reaction to it.
Okay. But to move on, we have NASCAR Carson Hocevar went to the Met Gala. Random, but I see that kind of need, I feel like we need to have NASCAR getting out more and making appearances of certain things. So that was actually, I think that was pretty good. Kind of random to me personally, didn't see that happening, but I'm glad he went. I know he got to see his favorite singer, Sabrina Carpenter. I know he was fangirling. I get it.
Well, I know you liked that in particular.
But moving on, since we're talking about racing, now to racing.
Right, so we'll start with NASCAR, as we're speaking of it. So we had the Go Bowling at Watkins Glen. Our Stage 1 winner was Ross Chastain. Our Stage 2 winner was SVG. And our race winner, of course, was SVG again. Michael McDowell was in 2nd. Ty Gibbs was in 3rd. Briscoe 4th. Reddick 5th. Dillon 6th. Allmendinger 7th. Busch 8th. Cindric 9th. And Nemechek 10th. So our cautions mainly came after the stages, like in lap 20, Stage 1 conclusion, Ross Chastain wins, then half field pits, per usual. Then lap 40, we actually had a caution because of debris, and someone's tent flew onto the track, so that was great. That was actually really funny to watch. Then lap 50, we had our Stage 2 conclusion. Of course, we just said SVG wins. Okay. So Joey Logano goes off the track. He has a flat front left tire. So our DNFs, it was just one. Okay. So we have to talk about SVG's comeback win, even though it wasn't really a comeback win because he was leading majority of the time. So lap 76, he actually pits from the lead. He comes out into 26th place. He is down by over 20 seconds at this point, and he comes back to win by almost 7.5 seconds over Michael McDowell, Ty Gibbs, and Connor Zilisch. However, Gibbs and Zilisch were both on fuel save, kind of. So Gibbs was worse, but he was also leading. But then they told Zilisch he could go and pass him in lap 80, 85, somewhere around there. And attempting to do that, he blew out his front right tire. So that wasn't great from him. And then Michael McDowell kind of just followed what SVG did. So it's unfortunate from Michael McDowell's standpoint that he kind of missed out on that. But SVG, you got to give it to him. He's just good on road courses. So our standings, we have Tyler Reddick still in first with 567 points. And then Denny Hamlin in second with 438. Chase Elliott then with 422. Ryan Blaney with 405. Chris Buescher with 375. Ty Gibbs moves up a spot. He has 372 points. Carson Hocevar bumps down a spot with 342 points. Kyle Larson stays where he was with 332 points. Brad Keselowski moves. No, he didn't move. He stayed in ninth with 318. And then Bubba Wallace moves into the top 10 with 313 points. So our next race is the All-Star race. This will be at Dover. This will be this upcoming weekend at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Last year's winner was Christopher Bell and Joey Logano in second and Ross Chastain in third. So that's NASCAR. Over to IndyCar. So weather conditions were bad for qualifying, so they bumped it to Saturday morning. And that's all the notes that I have for that. But our race winner was Christian Lundgaard. This is his first win for Arrow McLaren. And this is the first win of the season for Arrow McLaren. Plus, it's the first one of the season that Pato didn't win. So, fun facts for you there. David Malukas was in second, Graham Rahal in third, Joseph Newgarden in fourth, Alex Palou in fifth, Scott Dixon in sixth, Louis Foster in seventh, Dennis Hauger in eighth, Kyle Kirkwood in ninth, and Nolan Siegel in the top 10. So we got 2 Arrow McLarens in the top 10. Our cautions, lap 1, lap 22, and lap 28. So in lap 1, there was contact between the 4, 5, 9, 45, and 60 cars going into turn 1. So really what happened was Felix Rosenqvist in the 60 car tagged the back of Pato in second place and spun him around, and everyone else had to take avoiding action. And it was mainly between those two, and poor Pato, he was such a bystander in this accident, like there was nothing he could do about it, and he got spun, and great. Fun times. But yeah, so sad. Lap 22, the mechanical failure on Rossi's car on the front straight. Mechanical failure, he's obviously not going to drive it, so whoop-de-doo. And then lap 28, there was contact between the 8, 60, and 66. So the 60 again of Felix Rosenqvist, the 66 is Marcus Armstrong, and I believe the 8 is Kiffin Simpson. But I could be wrong on that. So I don't really know who the 8 is. But that's besides the point. Either way, there was contact there going into turn 13. Our DNFs, obviously, Rossi, Christian Rasmussen, Felix Rosenqvist, again, because of all that contact that he did on his car. Oh, the 8 must be Marcus Ericsson. Wait, but I thought he was 31. Okay, maybe I'm losing my mind. Maybe the 8 is Marcus Ericsson. What's Kyle Kirk? Oh gosh. No, this is not the time to be doing this. Anyways, so Rossi, we know the mechanical failure. Christian, I believe his was also a mechanical failure. And Marcus Ericsson was also a mechanical failure, but Felix Rosenqvist was contact with the other cars. Anyways, our biggest mover was rookie Dennis Hauger. He was up 16 positions. I believe he started, I think he ended He ended P8. So he started P24. So imagine that. And I think that's the biggest mover for any rookie. And he got a decent amount of points from that too. So he should be in the lead for the rookie battle. Anyways, our regular standings. Alex Palou still in first with 237 points. Kyle Kirkwood in second with 210. And David Malukas in third with 185. Then we have Christian Lundgaard, 182. Joseph Newgarden with 162. Scott Dixon with 148. Tied with Pato O'Ward, who also has 148, obviously, as I just said. Scott McLaughlin with 141. He's tied with Graham Rahal. And Marcus Armstrong. There's too many Marcuses on the grid, anyways.
Yeah.
Marcus Armstrong has 123 points, and he is in 10th in the driver's standings. So our next race for IndyCar is the Indy 500. That date is wrong. We're going to ignore that. That's next weekend, the 24th or something like that. So, you can be on the lookout for that. And the winner last year was Alex Palou, David Malukas in second, and Pato Award in third. Anyways, we'll move on to soccer.
Alright, guys. So first things first, we have Serie A. Inter beat 10-man Lazio, 3-0. There was a red in the 59th minute. Juventus beat Lecce? Sure. 1-0, and then Atalanta beat AC Milan 3-2. USMNT's Christian Pulisic off on injury. And then Napoli lose to Bologna 3-2. Inter Milan in first with 85. I think Inter Milan claims the Serie A title. And then Napoli in second with 70. Juventus in third with 68, and they move up. Milan in fourth with 67. Yes. And then Roma in fifth with 61. And then Como in sixth with 62. There are 2 more match days to be played.
Yeah, we're coming to a close on the season real fast here.
Oh.
I'm not ready for it.
I was talking to my coworker about that and like how the World Cup is gonna like be in the next 2 months, and I'm just
It's in a month. It's in a month. It's
yeah. And she's like, "How long is it for?" I'm like, "Oh, it's like basically all of June and July." Like, and she's like, "That's crazy." I was like, "I know." Anyways.
Yeah. To the Premier League, where we have Chelsea tie Arsenal 1-1. This was one of my games of the week. I feel like I kind of let you down with this, but that's okay. Man United ties Sunderland. There were no goals. Man City beat Brentford 3-0. Arsenal beat West Ham 1-0. And Leeds tied Tottenham 1-1. So Arsenal is still atop the Premier League for now. They have 79 points. Man City is in second with 74. Man United in third with 65. Fourth and fifth belong to Liverpool and Aston Villa, and we will see. It will come down to goal differential here for those two, I believe. Bournemouth is in sixth with 55 points, and Brighton move up into the top 7 with 53 points. So there are still 2 match days to be played. However, the caveat here is that Man City hasn't played one of their match days, so they actually have 3 more. But this could, and they will be playing Palace, and that will be midweek this week. And if they win, that could put them closer to Arsenal, and then it could come down to literally the last game if they both keep winning. But if Man City lose and Arsenal win, then I think Arsenal clinches. But I could be wrong on that, so we'll see. Either way, if Man City win, it puts a lot of pressure on Arsenal. So to La Liga. El Clásico this weekend, I didn't get let down, so we'll talk about that in a bit. Atletico lose to Celta 1-0. But as we hinted at earlier, Barcelona win La Liga this week with their win over Real Madrid. They won 2-0. They officially clinched the title. Can breathe a sigh of relief. Barcelona are in first, obviously, since they clinched 91 points to Real Madrid, who is in second with 77. Villarreal in third with 69. Fourth is Atletico with 63. Fifth is Real Betis with 54. Celta moves up into sixth with 50 points, and Levante moves down into seventh with 45. So Alex Freeman and Villarreal, we could see them playing in the Champions League next week. Not next week. When did I say that? Next year. There we go. And there are 3 more match days to be played in La Liga, but there's no real big games. This El Clásico was like the last big game to be played in La Liga, so. But we'll move over to the Bundesliga, where Stuttgart beat Leverkusen 3-1. Dortmund beat Frankfurt 3-2. Leipzig beat St. Pauli 2-1. Gladbach lose to Augsburg 3-1. However, I have good news about this game because USMNT's Gio Reyna scored, so that's good for him going into the World Cup. I'm so happy for him, and he deserves this because you want to find your form heading in to the World Cup, and looking at the form of our other people, it's not looking too hot. But so this goal could be good for us. I'll just put it that way. Next we have Bayern beat Wolfsburg 1-0. Our goal came from Michael Olise in the 56th minute. As we said earlier, Harry Kane did miss a penalty, and up until this point, he was perfect on taking penalties in the Bundesliga. So he was 24 for 24, and now he missed one, so he's 24 for 25. Which isn't great, but that's okay. So Bayern had 10 shots on target, 17 shots total, 64% of possession, and 3 corners. It was okay. I would have liked a bit bigger of a scoreline, but that's fine. Obviously, we have already clinched our title, so we have 86 points. Dortmund are in second with 70. Leipzig are in third with 65. Stuttgart and Hoffenheim jump up over Leverkusen for 4th and 5th. They are tied on 61 points. The goal differential is 22 to Stuttgart and 17 to Hoffenheim. Leverkusen, as we said, bumps down to 6th with 58 points, and Freiburg in 7th with 44 points. And next weekend is the last match day for the Bundesliga, so can't wait until next season. Anyways, we'll move over to the radar points.
Right, guys. So I had the IMS road course, San Zio Grand Prix. This was Saturday at 4:30 p.m. We just talked about it, so we'll continue. And then we have the Go Bowling at Watkins Glen. That was Sunday at 3 p.m. We already talked about that. M had AC Milan versus Atalanta. That was Sunday. And then El Clásico, which was Sunday. Chelsea versus Liverpool, which was Saturday. And then we had the NBA Conference semifinals. We talked about that.
I have one more thing for that. So, yeah, I'm going to continue this. So, actually, the Knicks ended up sweeping the Sixers.
Mm-hmm.
Did we say that already? Am I just going crazy?
And stupid statistics?
Yeah. Sorry. I'm blanking on that. Anyways, so they're the only team to have swept this round.
Awesome. That tracks. But moving on. So this week, I have the All-Star race. We just talked about when that will be happening. 1 p.m. Eastern time on the 17th. Look out for it if you're interested. And I'll just let him tell you hers.
Mine is just on all the Bundesliga games. That will be played on Saturday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. So if you're like me, I will just turn on the goal channel and I'll just watch all the goals. Because that's where it's at. No, that's all I had.
Okay, so if you don't want to miss any of our other videos coming out, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications. Comment down below anything, your thoughts, your opinions, or